Hi everybody, welcome to a new thing we're going to try out, which is Friday show some films at lunch. Um, you know, I'm Skip Alzheimer, and I collect old 16mm films, and I will show them to folks like you. And let me turn off this volume. All right, I'm back. So here's what I look like. So something I thought about doing is every month I do a 2-hour show screening where we watch educational films from the AV Geeks collection. And I thought, since it's the summer coming up, it'd be nice to do little shorter thingings, show a film or two. It's 2 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, which might be late for some people's lunch, but I don't know, maybe some of you people work at home. So anyways, we'll get started. The first film is it's called Chemical Feast, and it's made in the 70s, features a comedian of the time, and he kind of riffs on chemicals that are in your food very early on in the 70s. This is part of a series which were kind of Consumer Reports related, so there was a lot of things about products you buy, about advertising, the difference between brand names versus generics and things like that. So this is it's kind of fun and interesting, and I like watching films like this for hindsight to see, like, wow, what have we learned? And wow, we haven't learned anything. And so here's Chemical Feast. Enjoy.
Remember the old days? The pies your mother used to make? You'd go into the kitchen, there's Mom breaking eggs, beating them. There'd be rich country cream and sugar and fresh fruit and real vanilla beans and butter. Remember all that? Well, you can forget it. We've eliminated all the old sentimentalities. Modern baking through modern chemistry. Here's a pie you can make with the same ingredients that the manufacturer uses and lists on the box. The same ingredients that I have right here. We'll make the crust first. Let's begin with some wheat flour. That's always good for a beginning when you're making a crust. Just pour it right through the sifter and make sure that any dross or detritus is caught by the mesh of the sifter. There it goes. It's all gone. That's fine. Now we're going to put some sugar in to make it sweet. Just lay the sugar in nicely. A little shortening to shorten the crust so it doesn't stay long in the bowl. And use your friendly tools for all you have to get the shortening in there. That's good. Don't let it fight you. It's always going to fight you. Now to make it stay moist and loose, you want to put some water in. That's very good. Add a little sweetening from our friend Dextrose, hospital tested, hospital approved. Lay it right in. Now we want to mix a little sorghum flour with a little grain flour. There's some grain flour. Mix that around and put your sorghum flour in there too, and just let it all go in. Make sure you're getting all the impurities out. That's fine. Okay, and a little dash of salt to give it some power and strength so it can stand there proud. Here's some sodium bicarbonate. You want to measure this out carefully. You want to be careful with it too. Get these spoons. But they stick together like those spoons do. Okay, there's some sodium bicarbonate. And here's its antidote, ammonium bicarbonate. They think of everything, don't they? You might have some trouble finding these, but if you ask around, you might get these ingredients from some friends of yours, or if you know any druggists or chemists. And what's a pie without a little artificial flavoring and coloring? Just put it in there so it looks appetizing. That's fine. We'll just let this set chemically and heat up by itself and go over and make the body of the pie. We're going to start with water. Just lay that water right in the bowl. That's good. And add some corn syrup. It's thick and it's sweet and it's just fine. It lays right in there with the water. Great. Here's some shortening. We have shortening in both sides, in the crust and in the body. Get some help for our friend the wooden spoon. Wooden spoon helps us out to get the shortening in there. Excellent. More sugar just to make it sweet. Here's our sugar. Sits there with the shortening and the sugar and the dextrose. And now we get to the interesting part. Here they come. Here are whey solvents, fresh from Bossy to you. Lay that right in there. Mix it around. Make sure you have enough. That's dairy fresh, dairy approved. Sits right in there. Now we're going to food starch modified. What are the modifications? No one knows, but they've been modified for some years. That sits in there, makes it thick too. More dextrose, more sweets behind the sweets. That sits in there. Here's some sodium caseinate. Remember the word casein. See it in glue and paints. This is something different, though. It's a dairy product as well, and not bad for you nutritionally. That's good. Now we come to an important part. Time to add the flavoring. This is what distinguishes our pie from other pies. It has a certain amount of flavor. That's good. Great. Some gelatin to give that flavoring a little mush and gush and make it stand tall and proud in the world of pies. Real gelatin. Now we put some whole milk solids, also a very wonderful natural dairy item. That's good. Monosodium and diglycerides. This is an emulsifier. Make it hang together. Hang together and stay sloppy in your tummy. Another dash of salt, just a little, just a dash like snow. Isn't that pretty? Taste of vinegar to give it that old tartness. But be careful you don't put too much vinegar in. If you do, the kids will be turning their noses up at it, saying you made a vinegar pie, and you don't want to do that. Polysorbate number 60, not 58 or 59 or 61. If you have trouble finding this, your local organic chemical supply house probably have a little for you. This is an emulsifier, and it's also retards spoilage. So many pies these days are spoiling right and left. This one doesn't spoil ever. You keep it for 7 or 8 months. Here's some vanilla to counteract the vinegar and add a little more flavoring. That's fine. And our old friend, where is he? Where are you? There she is. This is monosodium phosphate. Can be found in laxatives and detergents. Cleans all kinds of tubes out, and you'll have a clean pie. We'll just lay this in right here. You don't want to put too much. Acts like a Drano or something. That's fine. Now we go to the Texas grasslands for a little guar gum. That's fine. That's purely organic. A little lecithin for the arteries. That's it. And what's a pie without a little artificial color? Just a couple drops. Not too much. You don't want it to clash with the walls or the curtains. That's fine. Okay. You may wonder what kind of a pie we've made here. See that? And I'll show you exactly what kind of a pie it is. There it is. A modern lemon cream pie. I'll open it for you. Get it out of the box. Good. Take the paper off. Factory fresh, factory approved. No lemons, no eggs, no cream, just pie.
Let's play the Creative Play Food Challenge. Foods no longer fall into the simple categories they once did. When we go to the market, we no longer buy just a sack of potatoes, a bag of sugar, or a pound of steak. We are now confronted and challenged by alluring packaging, hard sell advertising, and too many choices. It is also difficult to judge the real worth of foods now that chemicals contribute to the confusion. For that matter, how can we judge how much the ingredients should cost when oftentimes we cannot determine what the ingredients are? Now, one of the new categories is the Creative Play Food, a chemical whimsy created for fun and profit. Your fun, the creator's profit. Now, let's play the Creative Play Food Challenge. We'll describe 4 creative play foods and withhold the price. You guess which one costs the most per pound. Here are the 4 products, shoppers. Bear the price in mind. Here's number 1. A truly revolutionary product, Fruit Loops. So sweet, it could be called the first breakfast dessert. Up to now, no one wanted a dessert for breakfast, but it took a kind of genius to whip up some sugar, some blended flour and flavoring, secretly process it, and call the results a loop. They don't call it a cereal, but what's a loop anyway? It's the first breakfast dessert, and it doesn't need any sweetening. you wouldn't want more sugar. Now let's take the word fruit, spelled F-R-O-O-T, and for good reason. If they spelled it F-R-U-I-T, then they'd have to put real F-R-U-I-T in it. This 7-ounce box, Fruit Loops, cost 41 cents. This is not an ordinary potato product, and it's not made from ordinary potatoes. Potato crisps are partly dehydrated potatoes, and the rest degermed yellow corn grits, and 8 chemicals and preservatives blended together to give you a taste just like ordinary French fried potatoes. They take the fried taste you crave and make them go crunch. 5-ounce box of potato crisps sells for 49 cents. Here's an old favorite of kids everywhere. Fumaric acid, sugar, monosodium phosphate, artificial flavoring, calcium carbonate, and every schoolboy knows the rest. It's Kool-Aid. No fuss, no muss, and no fresh fruit leftovers to clean up and throw away. This little packet here delivers 2 quarts of non-nourishing, imitation-flavored soft drink. All you do is rip open the packet, toss the contents into a non-metal pitcher, add more sugar, cold water, stir, and serve. Non-metal pitcher. What would it do if you put it in a metal pitcher? There's a lot of thought there. A lot of care and thought went into the creation of Whip and Chill, the one rich dessert you can play with while you make. You can whip it up or let it barely feel the lash of your beater. Vent your aggression on your food. Whip and Chill, the fulmination of 20th century sophisticated technology. Not the kind of dessert mother would make, but some mothers or fathers over at General Foods knew what happens when you mix propylene glycol monostearate with sodium silicoaluminate, sodium stearoyl 2 lactylate, and acetylated monoglycerides. Abracadabra, deluxe magical dessert mix. Those mothers knew. They concocted a magical dessert mix. Not a pudding, not a cream, a chemical dessert dream. 29 cents for a box, 4-ounce box of Whip and Chill. Here's the quiz. Which of these did you like best? Which one do you think is the most expensive? Now, shoppers, choose amongst Whip and Chill, Kool-Aid, Fruit Loops, potato crisps. Here's the question. If each of these weighed a pound, which one would cost the most? Right. Here's the answer. Fruit Loops by the pound cost 93 cents. Whip and Chill goes for $1.16. 16 ounces of potato crisps will give you $1.56 worth of goodness. And here's the winner, Kool-Aid. And the reason why the non-metal pitcher is smiling is Kool-Aid by the pound costs $5.80. Chuck steak. This little chuck steak sells for 69 cents a pound. Can you imagine what it's going to cost when it becomes sizzling steako bits and joins the ranks of the play foods? Try to imagine that. Go ahead. I'll leave.
Oops, that one kind of snuck up on me. Let me rewind it. For you, those of you who have never seen this before, I'm actually showing real film. Like, I collect real film, and I'm putting it on this Telecine Live, and we have had splice breaks. We've had this machine freak out and spray film and leader all over the floor. A variety of different things. And so, I don't know if you can see, the screen is actually rewinding. Let me turn this off. And, yeah, so this is live. Live collecting film. So, Kat, did you want to come here real quick? This show is co-programmed by myself, and you want to introduce yourself? You can sit right there.
Hello, Kat Schechter here. That's, I don't know.
So why did you pick Chemical Feast?
Where we'll get in here.
Yeah.
I'm going the wrong way. It goes backwards. I picked Chemical Feast because I love Marshall Efron, and I thought it would be fun to have a little bit of the, strange scientific way that food is made these days and in the 70s.
Yeah, his whole shtick about Kool-Aid is so great. As every schoolboy knows. And what would happen if we did mix it in a metallic pitcher?
Kill the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, or a horrible chemical explosion. So this got started because I had I had a shower epiphany, and I was like, you know what? It's lunchtime ish, so I want to show one of my favorite lunchtime films, and this is the second edition of Lunchroom Manners, featuring Mr. Bungle. Mr. Bungle was in the original one. It was a puppet, a misbehaving puppet that children were cautioned not to be like, and yet Mr. Bungle seemed to be what Mr. Bungle was doing seemed really great. So that was popular in the 50s, and at some point in the 70s, they're like, we have to remake this film. And so they brought in a new scriptwriter, new team, and a bunch of young filmmakers who came up with something that is outrageous. It's called Lunchroom Goes Bananas. And I think it's outrageous because, one, what you see on the screen is outrageous. Two, and you've seen this, right, Kat?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Where's my little... I got it. Two, it's outrageous because it shows kids having a food fight. And I always think that's a bad idea because it gives kids ideas. They're like, wow, that food fight looked really fun. I should do that. That's the problem with an educational film, is sometimes accidentally you show how appealing the behavior that you're trying to keep from happening to a brand new set of eyes. That's the problem with drug films, especially LSD films. It's like, wow, there's this thing called LSD that makes you see all these crazy hallucinations, and you could die from it maybe, but really probably not. Where do I sign up? So this shows a food fight. The last reason that this is insane, which I've never really got an answer for, because I actually talked with the filmmaker, is why does this kid have a rat on his shoulder? So with those three things in mind, let's watch Lunchroom Goes Bananas.
And now, a PBTV News Special.
Good day. Wendell Walters and Morgan the Rat here. This is the day we've all been waiting for. The eyes of the world are on the students of Plumcrest School as they wait the outcome of the strange and unbelievable events that began just 2 weeks ago. Because PBTV feels this is such an important story, we present this short recap.
Roll the tape. Tape is rolling.
It all began 2 Fridays ago. It was a gray and rainy morning. Can I get going? Hey, Robin. Do you guys know what's going on around here?
No!
The lunchroom's locked. Your lunchroom's locked? You locked it?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
We're doing the best we can. We're trying to find out what's going on.
And you don't know who's locked you out of the lunchroom?
No!
Let's go on in. Yeah, okay. TV News here. Could you identify yourself and tell us what's going on?
Yes, I'm Miss Mitchell, but I don't know exactly what's going on. I'm real hungry, but the lunchroom's locked. We got out and came out for lunch.
Why would anyone want to lock up the lunchroom?
I don't know. No explanations, no nothing. It's never happened before.
Mr. Frankfurter's downstairs right now, trying to work things out. If when he gets back, I'm sure everything will be all right.
But we want lunch now!
No, I'm hungry, too.
Pardon me, I'm Ralph Frankfurter, the principal. May I help you, gentlemen?
Well, thank you, Mr. Frankfurter. Would you care to comment on the problem here?
Problem? What problem?
Well, we understand you've been locked out of your lunchroom.
Oh, that. That's not a problem. As far as I'm concerned, that's the best thing that's happened all year.
I don't think I understand.
Well, about that lunchroom. That lunchroom has become the biggest problem in this whole school. It isn't even a fit place to eat, the way these kids carry on in there.
That's a pretty serious charge. Would you care to elaborate?
Yes. I'll put it this way. Every day we work hard to try to prepare that lunchroom for lunch. To make it a clean, orderly, quiet place. And then the lunch bell rings. I don't care who locked up the cafeteria or why. As far as I'm concerned, it can stay closed until...
What is it?
They want you.
Who wants me?
The food wants you.
The food wants me?
Yes.
In the cafeteria?
Yes.
Okay, come on, you guys.
They're over there, but I'm not going back in there.
Oh, the press is here. Glad you could come. Come on out, boys. We've got a problem. This lunchroom has become a terrible place to eat. We used to be happy. Show 'em, boys. And just look at us now. We're down in the mouth. Some of us have been reduced to tears. A few of us have even gone mad.
Finito, out of business.
We've had it.
Throwing.
Running.
Shouting. Wasting.
We quit.
The lunchroom is miserable. And until there's some respect around here, we're on a strike. We hereby announce the first official food strike in the history of Plumcrest.
Oh, come on. You'd certainly go on strike if you were treated indecently, wouldn't you?
I'm sure we can change. Stick around a couple of weeks and you'll see we can change. I think we can change. I think we can all change. Just give us a chance.
Well, I don't know.
Can we trust them?
Well, I don't know. What do you think,
If we talk it over as a class, we can probably change a little bit.
Well, I don't know. What do you think, boys?
What more? 1, 2, maybe.
2 weeks, and not a day longer.
There you have it, friends. Unbelievable but true. Experts have viewed the videotape and have no explanation for talking food. And now the food is threatening to strike. Well, it was clear to students at Plumcrest that they had a big job ahead of them, but they were determined. Our news team stayed close to the story.
If we don't do something about the cafeteria, the food is going to quit.
I don't know what happened down in the cafeteria the other day, but I see a lot of problems down there. Do you see anything happening in the cafeteria that bothers you, Isaac?
People are just taking the food and throwing it away. If they don't want their lunch, they don't even take it and leave it on the table for somebody else to eat it. They're wasting
food. What else is happening that you see in the cafeteria, Bridget?
They're taking food out of the cafeteria and squishing it.
Squishing it? Yeah, are there any other problems that you see happening down there? Lucy?
They're running in the cafeteria and they can get hurt that way.
Serena?
Shouting, it's really irritating. I can't digest my food very well.
When it's very noisy, I agree with you. It's hard. Sarah?
People littering in the cafeteria.
People littering in the cafeteria, so not cleaning up after themselves? What else? Alisa?
There's people throwing food at each other.
People throwing food in the cafeteria. What do we think about that? Look. What can we do about the problem of running that we were talking about in the cafeteria? Travis?
We can set a good example for people.
Good. By doing what? Zoe?
Well, if you knew the person, you could ask them nicely to stop running.
You could ask them nicely. Good. Serena?
If somebody runs in the cafeteria, they don't get a lunch for a day.
Does anyone else have any ideas about what we can do to help? Aries?
I think we can make posters and hang them up in the cafeteria.
Do another one.
What?
Oh.
Don't be a slob. Don't be a slob.
Can I have the pink one?
Don't be a slob. I'll give you the face, don't wait. Yellow face, don't wait. Face, don't wait. Walk, don't run. Walk, don't run. Walk, don't run.
We're back at Plumcrest School talking to the children who are trying to improve their lunchroom. And they're here and they've made these signs, and I'm going to talk to a few of them. Hello there, what's your name?
Lydia.
And that's a very pretty sign, and you guys are going to put this up and try to improve the lunchroom so the food doesn't go on strike?
Yes.
Yes. And what's your name?
Anthony.
You're probably in charge of putting all the signs up, right?
No.
Oh, you're not. Hello there. Did you help with the signs?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your name?
Dinah.
These are very pretty signs. Would you put them up for me? Put them up on the wall.
It's just nice to eat when there's not so much noise.
I'm back at Plumcrest Elementary School 2 weeks later, surveying if the lunchroom problem has been solved. And frankly, from here, it looks pretty good.
I thought we could make it better, but this is great. I think it's great, too. Me too.
But Morgan, that's not the end of our story. Because the last word here belongs to the food. Will they or will they not strike? For the answer, we switch you to our remote cameras at Plumcrest School.
Strike? Not us. Now that the kids have shaped up, we're happy as can be. But remember, no fighting and throwing. Keep it at a walk. Don't waste. And enjoy your food.
Such a great film. I really, really, I like that film for many reasons. I wrote a chapter in a book about educational films, and this is one of the ones that I kind of talked about because it's so radically different than the 50s version. And what I like about it is it's kind of, with educational films, it kind of captures, it's like a mirror on what's happening and what kids are exposed to. So the first film that came out in the 50s it's a puppet show. And so kids watch this puppet show about Mr. Bungle getting ready to have lunch and then all of this bad behavior. And the kids are laughing, but of course they're supposed to recognize that Mr. Bungle he's a problem and we shouldn't model his behavior. So in this film, we get to see a strike, which kids were beginning to see in the media. They were seeing either their parents striking or they were seeing on television like various types of labor strikes. So that was part of the vocabulary, or what they understood. The other thing about this is it's all narrated by kids. There's adults in it, but it's mostly kids that are pointing out the problems and then coming up with solutions. The teacher is a facilitator, but it's really the kids that are talking about it. And that's something that also in 70s educational films is that kids are often telling the story or are talking to their audience, which is other kids. And the idea was that kids will listen to other kids. So that's why I like this film, is it's of a time. What about you, Kat? What do you think about this film?
Well, I feel like I'm backwards. I am just a sucker for anything that is stop motion animation. So, and also I have a collection of food with faces. Something about anthropomorphic food makes it all the more disturbing. There was there may still be a Tumblr of it, but the suicide food companies that use pictures of foods eating themselves, basically.
Pigs are notorious for that.
Yes, pigs do a lot of suicide foods, but it feels a little something like that, along the lines of anthropomorphic food is just weird and creepy, and it makes, especially when it's vegetables, because it's things like the bananas and the vegetables that like just should not be talking to you ever. It was never sentient, and so it's the fact that they've come back from the dead just to I don't know, to terrorize the lunchroom seems very bizarre. And also I have no answer for why he has a rat on his shoulder.
So I did reach out to one of the filmmakers. I want to say it was Tom Chamberlain. And I asked him about, so why does the kid have the rat on his shoulder? And he said that was somebody's kid that was on the film crew, and he just wanted to have the rat. And so that for me is very telling, because back in the day, Coronet, when it was in Chicago, was crazy strict about what was being shown on the screen, the way that kids talked, the way that they behaved. It was like everything had to be very set. You couldn't have random stuff like a kid having a rat on their shoulder, because that's super distracting. Because, you know, that's kids are like, there's a kid has a rat on his shoulder, his name is Maurice or whatever. It defeats the purpose of why you're educating these kids. So the fact that that was the case just tells me that it was a different time. Like, they weren't making, this was made in Portland, Oregon, actually. And it was made by a film crew that went and they basically set up, got permission, and they shot this thing, and then, you know, they sold it to Coronet, which was in Chicago. All right, so this last film that we're going to show is, wow, it actually has a teacher's guide with it. It's Fast Food, What's in It for You? And I don't think I've seen this film. Maybe I have. I don't. If I have, it's been a while.
Rapping, parties.
Oh yeah.
Great 80s little brothers and style and talking about nutrition. It's got it all, really. It's pretty fantastic.
I have so few educational films with rap in it that I'm excited. I do have one with breakdancing, but I don't think I have any with actual rap.
This has a little bit of rapping about nutrition. I don't think they're rapping on screen, which I was a little disappointed about.
That's okay. I'll take it.
They do rap about burgers and fast food, I believe, but also you just like learn a lot about fast food industry.
So is
and
it
how
like
that's gonna affect your party life?
So here's my dream: that the rapping is in the vein of the Fat Boys.
It's been a while since it's been a couple of years, so
Okay.
I can't remember if it
That's
is.
my fingers are
I
crossed.
want to say that it is.
I hope that that's what it is. It's like the Fat
I hope
Boys.
that for us too.
Yeah, but whatever. We'll watch it and talk about it. Thanks, guys, for your comments. And we'll do this again. We'll try to do this every Friday or every week. We'll show 1 or 2 films, 2 or 3 films, whatever we're feeling, as a way to watch more films and to fill in your dismal lives as you're sitting and eating a cup of noodles or whatever it is you're eating.
Learn why you're eating the wrong food.
Yeah, your Lunchables or your. I've actually saw an adult eating a Lunchable, which is crazy, but I guess that's the thing, especially if you're grown up with Lunchables. Anyways, or Marie calendars that you microwave. Anyways, so here we go. This is fast food. What is it for you? What is in it for you? Enjoy.
And what's in it is rapping.
Hold it. And they kept it quiet, and then one day...
All right, I'm going to stop and restart this because I realized the sound wasn't on.
Oh, no.
So we're going to rewind. Sorry. Because the rap is real good. Okay. Now, sorry, this software has a new UI, and it's not as sensitive as previous. So here we go.
Now the story here is about a gal who looked great, but she got it in her head that she ought to lose weight. Then she felt guilty about the stuff she ate. Bad diet. You name it, she'd try it. Now her little brother Alex just wanted to be tall, so one day he could play basketball. Bad mood. And he consoled himself with junk food. Now Alex thought Derek was strong and cool, and he came for some coaching every day after school, thought he'd try it. Hold it. And they kept it quiet, and then one day Karen spotted Derek and went out of her gourd. Instantly she was overboard.
What did I tell you? Is he cute or what? He's cute. Look out, he's turning dust. Karen, is that your brother Alex down there? Alex? It is Alex. What's he doing with Derek? How does he even know him? Come on, I think we're out of here.
Hold your legs stiff.
My legs feel like wet noodles.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold.
Feel like a geek.
Come on, champ. You can't quit now. Hey, why the long face?
I don't know. Everybody's bigger than me and stronger than me.
I know the feeling. They used to call me Shrimp.
They did?
I thought I'd never grow. You want an apple?
No thanks. Hey, want a donut?
No thanks. So you say you want a good-looking body, right?
Doesn't everybody?
Look, there are two things you can do. Exercise and food.
Food?
Yeah, that stuff. You know how they make donuts?
How?
They take dough made from flour, fry it in boiling fat, and cover it with sugar. So you know what you're feeding your body? Okay, now try to think what's in the food.
Flour, sugar, and fat?
You got it. So what else did you eat today?
I wasn't watching.
Alex, I don't think you're serious about this.
Okay, just try me.
I want you to do something.
All right.
I want you to write down everything you eat, all day, every day.
Everything all day?
Everything. All week. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, even if I do lose weight, how am I going to meet him?
Karen, you do not need to lose weight.
Okay, but then how am I going to meet him?
There's one way you can meet Derek.
My twerpy little brother.
Face it, Karen. Alex can introduce you.
Yeah, my darling little brother, Alex.
Hamburger?
Hamburger.
Fries?
Fries.
And one small bag of cheese doodles.
And one small bag of cheese doodles. Anything else?
That's everything I ate, but what's the point?
Well, if we add it all up, we can get a picture of what you're feeding your body. Okay, you're getting plenty of protein. Most people do.
What's that all about?
You're running low on vitamins, minerals, and fiber.
I am? How come?
Well, there's your problem. A lot of your food is sugar and fat.
Does that matter?
Alex, you want a body that looks unhealthy? Or one that's well fed?
Okay. So what do I do?
Think about it. You know how they make sugar?
How?
They take a plant like corn or sugar beets, take everything out except the sugar. What's left is a lot of calories, with no other nutrients for your body. And as for all that fat, well...
But where did I eat so much fat?
You know what you're eating right now?
There's fat in potato chips?
Think about how they make them. They cut up potatoes and fry them in boiling fat. Feel the grease?
Yeah, okay. But where else did I eat fat?
Any food that comes from animals is likely to have fat.
Animal fat?
Right. Saturated fat. The worst kind. As in milk.
Milk has fat?
Remember where butter comes from?
Oh, yeah. Butter's the fat they take out of milk.
So if you drink whole milk...
You're also drinking fat.
Butter fat. So...
Drink low-fat milk.
It's great food.
Yeah, but what else am I supposed to eat?
Go for more complex carbohydrates.
I forget what they are.
Look, There's a lot of great foods that come from plants. They're low in fat and high in nutrients. The potatoes you love. Delicious foods made from grains like spaghetti, rice, cereal, bread. You can eat beans, fruits, vegetables.
Vegetables? I have a definite feeling I'm not gonna like this.
Okay, I'm not gonna eat you because I know that you're fattening. I haven't eaten all day. Besides, there's no one here to see.
Is that your new diet?
Alex, if you ever do... Alex, what are you doing here?
I live here.
I really am glad to see you, Alex.
Are you feeling okay?
What's all that?
Celery. Derek said to eat vegetables.
Listen, Alex.
By the way, Derek said ice cream is loaded with fat. Frozen yogurt has less.
Listen, Alex, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Butterfat?
No, Derek. I was thinking, since you seem to know him, and...
Hey, wait a minute. I'm not a dating service.
Alex, you can use my stereo.
I can?
And you can have the bathroom first thing in the morning.
Well, I gotta think about it.
Okay. So what do you want?
You can invite me to your party.
You? At my party? Over my dead body.
Oh well, you didn't care that much about Derek anyway. Just 'cause he's a neat guy. Kind, smart, great looking.
Okay. You can come.
Great, and I'll do my gymnastics act.
At my party?
Deal?
So when do I meet Derek?
He works at a fast food restaurant?
Yeah, he's assistant to the manager.
There he is.
Alex? What are you doing here?
Listen, Derek, I gotta talk to you about these vegetables. Oh yeah, this is my sister, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
I heard you were into computers and nutrition and stuff. I'm into that too.
Computers? Or nutrition?
Both, actually.
Listen, Derek, could we talk?
Sure. I got a few more things to do. Come on inside.
What's this stuff?
It's hot fat. The stuff we use to fry French fries.
Are you throwing it out?
No way. We sell this stuff. They use it to make soap.
Ugh! You mean the grease on my French fries? The stuff they make soap out of?
Yeah. This is what it looks like before we heat it up in the fryer.
Solid fat.
Yeah. Some places use animal fat or saturated fat.
What's so bad about saturated fat?
See this funnel? Now imagine this was your artery.
It's all stopped up.
Yeah. If you eat too much animal fat and cholesterol, which usually comes with it, fatty deposits form on the walls of your arteries. Now, if this was blood trying to get to your heart,
the artery's clogged.
yeah, that's a heart attack.
Uncle David had a heart attack. He almost died.
Yeah, well, a lot of kids have arteries already starting to clog. All right, relax, Chief. Listen, it's easy to lower the risk. Just eat less saturated fat.
And less cholesterol?
You got a smart sister, Alex. Hey, Alex, can you open that door for me?
Hey, this is me. You serve steaks here?
No. So suppose I took this and I grilled it for you. Will you eat this part?
You mean the fat? Of course not.
You cut it off, right? Ever see how they make hamburgers?
Why does it leave the fat in?
Well, you like them juicy, don't you? See, that's what hamburger is. About 2/3 of the calories come from fat.
So I can't eat hamburger.
Oh, sure you can. Once in a while. If the rest of your foods are right.
That's the problem. I can't handle this rabbit food.
Alex.
Well, I hate vegetables.
Alex, you know what this is?
Ah, hot potato!
It's mainly carbohydrate. It's also a vegetable. If you eat it this way, you get vitamins, minerals, fiber. Eat a potato like this, you add a lot of calories, fat, and salt. Too much salt can also cause problems.
But I like French fries.
Hey, that's cool. You can have treats. Just hang on to some balance. Suppose you order a big double cheeseburger and fries. Guess how much fat you're eating? 18 teaspoons of fat. Now, how could we lower the fat?
Make it a single burger?
That helps. Can you spread the cheese? Lower the butter fat. Hold the dressing too.
Is chicken less fatty?
Sure, if you leave the skin off.
Instead of French fries, eat a baked potato.
Great. Add some trimmings. Make the bun whole wheat. Cool out the refined sugar. And you got a meal with only 2 teaspoons of fat. Big difference when you make better choices.
See, Alex, the salad bar is definitely a good choice. Imagine a meal with vegetables, beans, fruit, lots of carbohydrates.
Carbohydrates?
Yeah, see, these foods are great. Use a low-fat dressing, and you got a lot of nutrients and fiber with hardly any fat. Low calories, too.
So if if a person ate
Carbohydrates.
then it would be in place of all the sugary and fatty foods. So then that person wouldn't have to diet.
Well, she'd eat a lot less calories, that's for sure. Well, not that you'd ever have to worry about that.
Derek, I was wondering, I'm throwing a little party, and I was wondering
I'd love to.
You would?
Sure. I guess we're both interested in the same things. See, a lot of girls, all they think about is trying to be skinny.
I know. I hate that, too.
You can't believe how many girls are always on some stupid new diet. Talk about boring.
That's exactly how I feel.
Are you okay?
Fine. I just find some things a little hard to swallow.
I think we're going to have a mob. I know. It's going to be great. So, who else is coming?
Well, Derek, Donnie, Kirk, Greg, Tina.
What are we going to do for food?
Yeah.
How about dip and chips?
Chips? Fried and fat?
Oh, yeah. Well, we could have...
Yeah. And buckets of...
greasy and fat. How about...
with pepperoni?
Too fatty. How about mushrooms?
And other veggies.
Instead of my usual breakfast, I could have... Instead of my usual lunch, I could have...
But what do we do for dessert at the party? Everything's full of fat and sugar. Okay, I got it. Picture this.
Just say what I wrote, okay?
Okay, come on, people. I have a little special entertainment for you tonight. To amaze you with their feats of...
Dazzling feats.
With their dazzling feats of courage, the incredible daredevils.
Now, Alex could have stood on his head, but he had a great time breaking up instead. Too cool.
I said hi.
So it took a while, but they got it together, and they finally figured out just when and whether fast food can be too crude. If you want the body of a real cool cat, ease up on the sugar and the fat. No need to diet to keep her natural weight. In place of junk, the right carbohydrate. A fine, healthy body, do you need it? The question is, What do you feed it?
Wow. Yeah, I think that's one of the few that I can think of, few educational films that I think of that actually has rap in it. Not like the Fat Boys, though. I was really hoping for a counterpoint to Fat Boys in their style. But it's not disappointing, I got to tell you. Glorious 80s. Maybe it'd be good with grill skills. Show that in opposition to the Wendy's training video that shows you how to grill hamburger patties, and it's a wrap. So I have teacher's notes. The idea is that we would watch the film, and then I would have objectives, or I would have discussion. So before the viewing, name some foods students often buy at fast food restaurants, which are more healthful and which are less helpful for their bodies. Why? Then afterwards, discuss, again, the questions posed before the viewing. Discuss the issues raised under objectives above. Name unhealthy substances in each of these foods. French fries, chips, donuts. Fat and all, sugar in donuts. And then, of course, salt is something they don't even talk about. What might happen to a person whose diet contains a large percentage of these foods. Clogged arteries, excess weight, high blood pressure, of course. In the cancer and the heart disease and all that stuff. I'm in my 50s, so all of this is resonating, of course. Activities. Make a list of fast foods which are less helpful. Opposite each, list a more helpful fast food which could replace it. Keep a list of everything that you eat for a day or for a week. In separate columns, list foods high in saturated fats, cholesterol, and sugar, as well as those high in protein, complex carbohydrates, and fiber. Foods such as hamburger could appear in 2 columns. Compare your records with others in the class. How helpful is your diet? What could you do to improve it? Plan a healthful fast food menu, healthful snacks, healthful sack lunch. And there's these resources like a poster. And this was designed to be shown in health, nutrition class, or home economics. And this, again, reiterates my point, which is that everybody should be required to take home ec. Everybody. Because home ec used to teach you about nutrition, about preparing food, about home finances, about family life a little bit, but all the things that we don't have any training in. Like, I did not learn how to balance my checkbook in high school, and I certainly should have learned. Likewise, nutrition I knew a little bit about, but actually food prep would have been great, and just general consumer education would have been awesome. So that's my soapbox. Anyways, thanks everybody for coming out. If you liked what you saw, we'll try to do this again next Friday. I haven't looked at my calendar to see what's going on, but it's going to be a lot of impromptu screenings this summer. Try to do 1 a week and show some films. Thank you, Kat, for chiming in. She has a brain that has seen films that I haven't seen, and there's some overlap. So she has been going through my films and finding stuff that she's like, you totally have to see this. I'm like, well, I've never seen it, and vice versa. So thanks for your feedback on that. If you like what you saw, you'd like to donate some actual money, you can do it at the Patreon, which is I'm pointing at. Likewise, you can watch other videos on YouTube or Facebook, or you can buy something at avgeeks.com. We have literally thousands of DVDs of films from our collection, from other collections. So thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend and a good start of June. We will see you again soon. Take care.